Till birth rates in the US have dropped more than 20% since 2007. Till the cookies that Cookie Monster eats are just painted rice cakes. Real cookies would damage the puppet because of the grease. Till the song, I'll Be Missing You, by Puff Daddy was a huge success, spending 11 weeks at number 1. Puff Daddy did not secure rights to the song, so Sting sued and owns 100% of the royalties until 2053. Till in 2018, the 120-resident village of Aquetico in Italy installed speed cameras after being fed up with people speeding through it. In next 2 weeks, it recorded 58,500 speeding infractions. Till that the crew of the sinking Daniel J. Morell believed they were moments from being rescued, only to discover in horror that the lights were from the stern section of their own severed ship, still under power and barreling towards them. Till about Nebraska's safe haven law that didn't have an age limit to drop off unwanted babies. A wave of children, many teenagers with behavioral issues, were dropped off. It has since been amended. Till that sharks don't make sounds. Across 400 to 500 species, no one has ever found an organ even capable of producing sound. Till humans are a tropical species. Human evolution has produced bodies that were meant to live in hot and humid conditions. Our species is in its infancy as far as cold weather evolution is concerned, and physiologically speaking, our bodies are not supposed to be able to survive there. Till NASA finds only 40 digits of pi needed to accurately calculate observable universe's circumference within one hydrogen atom. Till Beyoncé earned $24 million for a 1-hour concert in Dubai. Till that the morning after the Titanic sank, a man on a nearby vessel who was unaware of the sinking photographed an iceberg with a red streak he suspected to be paint from a ship. For years, the law firm for White Star Line, the Titanic's owner, had the original displayed in their office. Till people who work at U.S. nuclear power plants are exposed to less radiation than what is given off by the granite walls inside the U.S. Capitol building. Till in 2001, Mattel made a vibrating Harry Potter broomstick that led to many questionable Amazon user reviews. They discontinued the toy after adult stores in Times Square started selling them for twice their original retail price. Till Time magazine was the first to introduce the name World War II. Till that, on the 16th of November 1949, students in Ghent, Belgium, stormed the medieval castle, lowered the portcullis and threw fruit from the walls at the police to protest a new tax on beer. The event is still commemorated yearly by the city as the greatest student prank in its history. Till the search and discovery of the Titanic was only allowed as to cover for searching for 2 U.S. nuclear submarines that sunk in the 60s. Till the FAA predicted that if kids under 2 years old were required to have their own seats on planes, at least 60 kids would die in car accidents for every kid saved because families that couldn't afford extra plane tickets would drive instead. Till it is a federal crime, punishable by up to $100 and a year in prison, for most people in the U.S. to possess any part of a bald or golden eagle, even just a shed feather found on the ground. Till Ubisoft offered to share their detailed 3D model of Notre Dame from Assassin's Creed, Unity, some 5,000 hours of research, with the French government reconstruction effort after the fire in 2019. Till a Japanese YouTuber sparked outrage from viewers in 2021 after he apparently cooked and ate a piglet that he had raised on camera for 100 days. This despite the fact that the channel's name is called Eating Pig After 100 Days, in Japanese. Till only a slim majority of Americans realize Puerto Ricans are American citizens. Till that flat earther Mike Hughes died after crash landing a rocket he made to prove the Earth is actually flat. Till about the game Fold It, a puzzle game about protein folding. In 2011, its gamers helped decipher a protein of a HIV-like virus, solving a scientific problem that went unsolved for 15 years in as little as 10 days. Till castrati were singers who were castrated before puberty to develop a unique voice for singing. They were primarily in church choirs and operas. Italian operas without one would be doomed to fail. The Pope tried to ban them in 1748, but failed as it would drastically reduce church attendance. Till the navigator Henry Hudson was cast adrift by mutineers, along with his son and 6 others in 1611, in Hudson Bay. They were never seen again. Till that lower-class Germans are stereotyped as giving their children names that sound exotic in German, such as Kevin. Prejudice against people with such names is strong enough that the term Kevinism was coined to describe it. Till that just before Laika went into space, one of the scientists using her for testing brought her home to play with his children, knowing that she would not survive her journey. Till about Jiro Sato, one of the best Japanese tennis players ever, who committed suicide at the height of his career due to pressure from the Japanese Tennis Association. Till in 2009, Masanobu Sato masturbated for 9 hours and 58 minutes at the 9th annual World Masturbate-a-thon, holding the record. Till that when the Bible was first translated into Finnish, there was no word for lion since nobody had ever seen one. The translator instead used the word jalapura, which means noble deer. Till that in 1947 the town of Holt, Missouri, population 471, experienced the greatest one-hour rainfall total ever observed worldwide. 12 inches of rain fell in just 42 minutes. Till. MSG isn't bad for you, and its bad reputation stemmed from what's called the Chinese restaurant syndrome. Till. In 1880, the average ages of consent in the U.S. were set at 10 or 12 years old in most states, with the exception of Delaware where it was 7. Till Vincent Price was graylisted under McCarthyism in the 1950s for having been a pre-war, premature anti-Nazi, and after being unable to find work for a year, agreed to requests by the FBI that he sign a secret oath to save his career. Till Disney is said to spend $10.68 billion every single year to keep their parks open and functional. If you were to split that evenly, each park would cost roughly $3.25 million per day to stay open. Till that graying is a sign of active hair growth. Gray hair is also both thicker and faster growing than pigmented hair. Till white rice is just brown rice with its outer layer milled off. Till while writing the 1971 song, Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers had originally intended to write more lyrics instead of repeating the phrase, I know, 26 times, but then followed the advice of the other musicians to leave it that way. Withers said, when they said to leave it like that, I left it. Till that there is enough gold in the oceans to give each person on Earth about 9 pounds of the metal. Till in 2012 in Cebu, Philippines, after a 6.9 earthquake struck the city, someone shouted while finding their daughter whose name is Chona May. This was misheard as tsunami and eventually caused a mass panic. Till Beyond Good and Evil 2 has broken the record for longest game development time, at almost 16 years. Till Domino's Pizza was unsuccessful in its attempt to expand into Italy, they failed to win over the local Italians as they preferred their local pizzerias. Till the largest blackout in history left over 620 million people without power in 2012. Despite affecting 9% of the world's population, the blackout was entirely within the country of India. Till J.J. Thomson, Nobel Prize-winning physicist, had 6 of his students win a Nobel Prize in physics, and 2 of his students win a Nobel Prize in chemistry. Additionally, his son also won a Nobel Prize in physics. Till that black widow spiders are often hunted down and killed by their brown widow cousins when in the same territory. Till the Black Death contributed greatly to the rise of the British pub and pub culture. Thanks to the plague, scarcity of labor greatly improved the standard of living for peasants, who in turn spent their extra money on beer. Till of the Savak blade bayonet. A German knife used in WW1 that would pull out the insides of its victims and cause inevitable and painful death. They were recalled by the German military because British and French soldiers would torture and kill any soldiers caught with one, on principle. Till that about 15% of all Tyrannosaurus rex fossil specimens show signs of having been infected with or killed by trichomoniasis, a parasitic infection in the jaw that leaves visible holes in the bone. Modern-day birds, such as falcons and hawks, can suffer from similar trichomoniasis infections. Till that when Johannes Rebmann, the first European to see Mount Kilimanjaro, published his discovery in 1849, it was dismissed as a malaria-induced hallucination because it was believed that snow at this latitude was impossible. It took 12 more years for scholars to accept the mountain's existence. Till of Nakahama Manjiro, a 14-year-old fisherman who was shipwrecked on an island with 4 friends. They were rescued by an American whale ship, who took them to Honolulu, where his friends stayed. Manjiro continued on to Massachusetts and became the first Japanese person to land on mainland USA. Till Robert Oppenheimer, born in 1904, didn't read newspapers and didn't keep up with the news at all until the 1930s. A native New Yorker, he wasn't informed of the 1929 Wall Street crash until a friend told him, 6 months after the fact. Till. The U.S. Army looked into using biodegradable ammunition which planted a seed after being fired to grow food for animals. Till the French Bulldog is now the top purebred dog of USA, beating the Labrador Retriever that held the title for 31 years. Till the Kootenai Indian tribe of Idaho and Montana harvests millions of dollars of sturgeon caviar a year, but put all the eggs back in the rivers. They are desperately trying to save the shrinking white sturgeon population which they believe are sacred messengers. Till that the curveball was invented by a baseball player named Candy Cummings. He was also the first player ever to pitch 2 complete games in one day and later invented a device to safely couple railroad cars together. Till that Jack White of the White Stripes originally wanted to save the guitar riff used in Seven Nation Army for if he got the chance to make a James Bond theme song. 5 years after the song was released, he wrote the theme for the 2008 Bond film Quantum of Solace. Till. About Saburo Kurusu, a Japanese diplomat to the United States during the Pearl Harbor attack. He was unaware of the attack and was on his way to the Secretary of State to deliver a reply to the previous diplomatic communications. Till that Andy Warhol was secretly a devout Byzantine Catholic, who attended church almost daily. At one point, he financed his nephew's studies for priesthood, and was also responsible for at least one religious conversion. Warhol's brother described him as really religious. Till that while the quantity of stars on the U.S. flag is determined by an act of Congress, the size and position of the stars are determined by executive order and can be set unilaterally by the president.